days, authorities still need to determine the extent of the damage.
It's under control. A large area has burnt. We're not sure whether any wildlife has been burnt. We'll only be able to see that in daylight. But yeah, we've put most of it out. We just heard another area that's flared up. So we're going out there now to see if we can get it under control.
The critical situation in Burundi has dominated discussions at a joint African and European Parliament Assembly in Brussels. Some European politicians are calling for sanctions against the Burundian government over President Pierre Nkurunziza's controversial third term in office.
Burundi is deemed by many to be on the brink of major political and social collapse. The UN says 240 people have been killed in unrest since April, and many want President Pierre Nkurunziza to step down as leader. At the Africa, Caribbean, Pacific EU Joint Parliamentary Assembly, some lawmakers encouraged economic sanctions against the country to put pressure on the Burundian president to step down, calling his election illegitimate.
For the moment, we all know that the situation in Burundi is awful. More than 200,000 refugees, and also everybody is in fact witnessing the fact that the authorities are entering very toughly in the houses, killings and all these things.
This assembly couldn't come to agreement on joint action for Burundi, however. The Burundian government insists their president's third term is legitimate and say the rebel factions in the country are to blame.
They have provoked violence in our country, and it's this violence of which we observe today that are guarded remotely by the same individuals who have done the coup d'etat. I believe the European members of parliament should condemn the ones who have done the coup and ask that they are called to justice instead of wanting to sanction the Burundian government.
At the moment, however, there is no European Union delegation observing the situation on the ground in Burundi, and many of the African members of the Assembly say that should limit hasty EU action. This Assembly doesn't have the power to impose EU sanctions on Burundi, but there are some within it who are hoping that they can assert their influence on those who do. Putting restrictive measures on the government in Bujumbura, however, could have detrimental effects on the diplomatic negotiations. Jack Parrick, SABC News, Brussels.
The UN Security Council has been called upon to preserve and defend the peace process when it meets in the situation in Western Sahara later today. Polisario Front's envoy to the United Nations has warned that the process for a negotiated settlement with Morocco was in danger of collapsing if it did not get a firm push from the international community.
The Security Council will meet behind closed doors on Western Sahara Tuesday